It's already 2020, and I hope all of you have set your goals so far, because if you haven't, there's still time. And it's important that you set your goals and know where you're headed for this year. If you haven't, it's time to do so. Join us for the upcoming goal setting workshop and let 2020 be the best year ever of your life. But what are we going to cover in this workshop? I'm just going to run you through this little presentation and going to explain what is it that we are going to do in this workshop. Just follow me. So here we have, and if you're seeing this, what we have is a mind map that I have done of this goal setting workshop, and it starts with the wheel of life exercise, and this is where every participant introspects and looks at all the 8 parameters that we are looking at, all the 8 sections that are important to us in our life. So what are some of those parameters? The first one is money and finance. The second one is your business or your career. The third is your family and your personal growth. So all of these, so from money and finance, from your career, your recreation and fun, your health, your community, the role that you play in your community, your own spiritual development, and what are you doing about your own personal growth. So we look at all these aspects and we look at where we stand as of now, and we do a reality check on that. When we do a reality check, we also look at the next exercise where we say, okay, so this is where I am right now. So I am where I am right now because of what I have done so far in my life. And that's okay. But where I will be decided by what I do now. And that's the important thing. And the important thing over here is not to let go of your dreams. The dreams without any action plans are just dreams. And therefore you need to convert them into goals and make those goals, convert those into little action plans, action steps that you're going to take towards, that's going to move you towards achieving those goals. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the wheel of life. We're going to define what your dreams are, what your goals are, and we're going to define up to 8 of each of these goals for each of these spheres of your life. We arrive at your most important goals, and then we arrive at the action plan that we are going to do. So right now you may have multiple things going on in your mind. There's a lot of complexity. What we are aiming for is to break through and have clarity around those. And while we are going to do this, we are going to also incorporate how do you use mind maps for this? How do you use visual thinking for this? And this is where we come to the topic of mind maps. If we just focus over here. So this is not a colorful spider. This is actually a representation of your brain. Okay, this is the left side of your brain and the right side of your brain. You would know that each has its own importance and plays a certain role. The right side of our brain is related to imagination, daydreaming. So you have over here this picture of somebody daydreaming. It is the right side of the brain which recognizes color, which recognizes rhythm, which understands music, which recognizes dimension. It is also where we have the Gestalt effect happening. Now the Gestalt effect is what? Our brain has a tendency of completing. Even if something is missing, it will complete that. So if you really look at this example over here, what is written over here is creativity. And I'm sure you would be noticing, hey, that's not the spelling of creativity, but your brain already read that out. It already read that out as creativity, and that's the Gestalt effect. It's no wonder that the Gestalt effect is used most in the television industry. So when you have one serial ending at a mysterious point, you don't know what's going to happen next. What the director is playing on is actually the Gestalt effect. He wants you to crave as to what's going to happen next. And your brain does not like leaving things incomplete. It wants to know what's going to happen next. And that's why you're hooked on to the television as you are. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to use the technique of mind mapping, and I'm going to train you on how do you do mind maps, how do you use visual thinking, because that's what we do. We think in terms of pictures and we associate them with words. And guess who you are talking to most of the time? You're right. You're talking to yourself most of the time. So what is it that you should be telling yourself if you're going to be the one who's doing all the talking and the listening? That's what we are going to cover in this workshop. So the next workshop is going to come very soon. So keep your eyes out on that and give us a call to register your name. And my name is Amar Salvi, and I thank you for watching this. Thank you.